In the Skopje of 2026, the air was thick with the hum of progress and the crackle of a new kind of tension. Zoran stood in his high-rise studio, watching the neon signs flicker across the city's concrete skin. Below, the bilingual signs, Macedonian and Albanian, pulsed in vibrant cyan and warm amber. However, a shadow loomed over the glowing script. The Constitutional Court had begun reviewing the law on languages, and the city held its breath, wondering if its linguistic identity was about to be rewritten. Down in the central square, Arbery walked past the brutalist monuments, clutching a holographic pamphlet. As a young activist, he saw the language debate not as a legal technicality, but as a fight for his place in the nation's future. To him, the Albanian language was the melody of his home, and the court's impending decision felt like a threat to mute that song. The square was filled with digital displays, showing conflicting headlines about the upcoming ruling. Zoran met Arbery at a street-side cafe where the tables were made of polished chrome. They had been friends for years, their bond built on a shared love for the city's evolving aesthetic. "They say the court might strike down the key articles," Arbery said, his voice tight. Zoran sipped his coffee, looking at the sharp lines of the cafe's architecture. "A city is built on its foundations, Arbery, but it lives through its voices. If one voice is lowered, the whole harmony changes." Within the towering, fortress-like walls of the Constitutional Court, Lexa prepared her notes. As one of the youngest judges, she felt the weight of the Constitution like a physical pressure. Her task was to balance the strict geometry of the law with the fluid needs of a multi-ethnic society. She looked out her office window at the protesters gathering below, their banners appearing as tiny specks of color against the gray, brutalist landscape. A public hearing was held in a grand, circular auditorium that looked like a space-age parliament. Lexa sat on the elevated bench, listening as Arbery spoke from the floor. He argued that language was the bridge that connected the past to the retro-futuristic future they were building. The room was silent, the only sound the faint whirring of the automated cameras capturing the moment for the nation to see. Outside the court, the tension finally broke into a massive rally. Arbery stood on a hovering platform, surrounded by a sea of people holding geometric flags. Beside him, a fellow protester held a sign that simply read "Égalité" in a bold, retro-modern font. The crowd wasn't just there for a law, they were there for the soul of the 2026 vision. They wanted a Skopje where every citizen could navigate the neon streets in their own mother tongue. Back in the quiet of the legal library, Lexa sat alone, surrounded by the wisdom of the founders. She realized that the law wasn't a cage, but a framework that had to grow alongside the people. The debate over the Albanian language was a test of the Constitution's elasticity. She ran her finger over a digital transcript, searching for the point where the letter of the law met the spirit of a united people. Zoran and Arbery met again, this time at the site of a new mural Zoran was designing. It was a massive work of art that featured interlocking gears, each one inscribed with words in different languages. "I'm calling it the syntax of solidarity," Zoran explained. Arbery watched as Zoran adjusted the color of an Albanian word, making it glow just as brightly as the Macedonian one next to it. They both knew that art could often go where the law feared to tread. The day of the verdict arrived. The courtroom was packed, the air thick with anticipation. Lexa stood and began to read the decision. The court ruled that while certain administrative procedures needed refinement, the fundamental right to use one's language was an inseparable part of the nation's democratic fabric. As she spoke, a clerk stood by her side, broadcasting the ruling in real time to every screen in the country. A wave of relief, and then a new kind of resolve, swept through the city. As night fell on the 2026 Skopje, Zoran sat on his balcony, watching the city light up once more. The bilingual signs were still there, pulsing with their neon heart. The debate had changed the city, making it feel more fragile, yet more intentional. He picked up his stylus and began to sketch a new horizon. The future wasn't just about high-speed trains and neon lights. It was about the complex, beautiful conversation of a people learning to live together in every language they knew.